Assalamu alaikum. I am Nuzhati Rahman, currently studying Computer Science and Engineering at Shahjalal University of Science and Technology. Welcome to my YouTube channel, where we explore fascinating concepts in economics. In today's video, we will be diving into market equilibrium, a crucial topic in economics that explains how supply and demand interact to determine the perfect balance in a market. Have you ever wondered why prices fluctuate or how markets stabilize over time? Well, today we are going to break it all down in a simple and easy to understand way. So, whether you are a student, an aspired economist, or just curious about how markets work, stay tuned because this video is for you. Let's get started. What is equilibrium? What is the definition of equilibrium? A market equilibrium comes at the price at which quantity demanded equals quantity supplied. If we denoted QD as the quantity demanded of a commodity and as the QS quantity supplied of that commodity, then according to the definition, at an equilibrium is the QD is equal QS. That means quantity demanded is equal quantity supplied. Imagine a marketplace where buyers want to purchase a product at the lowest possible price, while sellers want to sell at the highest price. If the price is too high, demand decreases because fewer people are willing to buy. If the price is too low, supply decreases because sellers don't find it profitable. So, where do we find the perfect balance? That's exactly what market equilibrium is. The point where the quantity demand is by consumers equal to the quantity supplied by producer. At this point, there is no excess supply or shortage, and the price remains stable, at least temporarily. There are two types of equilibrium, one stable equilibrium and one unstable equilibrium. What is stable equilibrium? A market is in stable equilibrium when, if disturbed, it naturally returns to its original equilibrium point. This happens when the focus of supply and demand pushes price and quantities back to balance after a shock. What is the example of the stable equilibrium? Imagine a fish market where the price of fish is normally $10 per kg. Suddenly, demand drops and the price falls to $8 at this lower price. More people start buying fish and some sellers reduce their supply because they're less profitable. This gradually brings the price back to $10, restoring equilibrium. Here's the stable equilibrium. Then what is the unstable equilibrium? Unstable equilibrium presents the opposite scenario of a stable one. If upon apply the shock on price, the equilibrium cannot be regained, then it is known as unstable equilibrium. It is therefore easy to understand that a very small amount of shock can make an unstable equilibrium vanish away. The example of an unstable equilibrium, we can think a sudden panic of the stock market. Suppose company stock is priced at $50, but due to rumor, investors start selling. As the price drops $45, even more investors panic and sell, causing the price fall further, maybe down $30 lower. Instead of returning to equilibrium, the market keeps spiraling away, creating instability. Here's the unstable equilibrium. Here are the two types of equilibrium, one stable and unstable equilibrium scenario. Then, next topic is the graphical representation of equilibrium. Here's the graphical representation of equilibrium. In this graph, x-axis denoted by quantity and y-axis denoted by price, and downward curve is called demand line curve and upward curve is called supply line curve, and the intersection is called equilibrium. This area is called shortage and this area is called surplus. Under this area is called shortage and this area is called surplus. What is shortage and what is surplus? Here's the two additional concepts of equilibrium. A shortage occurs when the quantity demanded for product or services exceed the quantity supplied at a particular price. In simple terms, there are not enough goods available to meet the demand at the current price. Here's the example. Let's say the price of apple is set $1 per apple, but 1000 apples are demanded by buyers, while there are 700 apples available in the market. In this case, there is a shortage of apples because demand exceeds the available supply. Here's the shortage. Then what is surplus? Surplus is opposite to shortage. A surplus occurs when the quantity supplied exceeds the quantity demanded at a certain price. This happens when the price is too high, leading to an excess of goods that people don't want to buy. Surplus is the upper part of these two curves and shortage is the lower part of these two parts. Here's the shortage. Here's the area of shortage. Okay, then surplus occurs when the price is above the equilibrium at the price quantity supplied is greater than the quantity demand. Here's the graphical form of equilibrium. Then mathematical model of equilibrium. If by the definition we can say that QD is equal QS, that means quantity demand is equal quantity supply. There are two functions, one called QD that means demand function and QS that means supply function. Two functions denoted as QD is equal A minus BP and QS is equal C plus BP. Here's in the demand function, QD is equal quantity demanded, A is the quantity demanded when the price is 0, B is the slope of the demand curve, and P is the price of the commodity. What is the supply function? Supply function, here's the supply function where QS is equal quantity supplied, C is the quantity supplied when the price is 0, and D is the slope of the supply curve, which shows how much supply increases. P is the price of the commodity. And here's the condition of the equilibrium, and we can find these two formula by those demand function and supply function. These are the formulas for finding the equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity in a market given the demandity of demand and supply function. Okay, here's the all about equilibrium. Thank you for watching, and if there is any confusion, write down in the comment box.